Hello students, welcome to the online classes and we are here with our next chapter 1 nutrition in plants, and this video is part 1 of chapter 1 nutrition in plants. So in this video we are going to cover the topics introduction, modes of nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs, photosynthesis and requirement for photosynthesis. So let's start with our first topic, introduction. All living organisms need food to survive. As we know very well, if we have to survive, we need what? We need food, we need energy to survive. So all living organisms need food, need energy to survive. It also provides the building blocks for the body of a living organism. Means food also provide the energy for the formation of the for the formation of the body of any living organism. Means if we for the growth of living organism, for the formation of the body of any organism, what need? Food need. So food is what? It provides the building blocks for the body of a living organisms. There are many life processes which need energy. As you know, if for any living organism, what requires? If for any life process, means for any activity, what require? Energy is required. Means if we have no energy, so we can't do any other activity. So some important life processes are, means what are the important some life processes in which energy also required. So nutrition, means in our body to get nutrient. So nutrition process, photosynthesis, respiration, excretion, reproduction, transportation of water, minerals and food. So in the body of any organism, these life processes, these life processes to be done, and to do for these life processes, what is the most important? Energy. And how we get the energy? From food. So to do these life processes, food is very important, and food have a very big role to do this all life processes. So let's see in more detail. Both plants and animals require nutrients. Now see, both plants and animals, and humans also here include in the category of animals. So humans, plants, animals all require what? Nutrients. If we say nutrients, what are the nutrients? So carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. All these are what comes in the category of nutrients. All these 5: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are nutrient. So both plants and animals, humans, all what required? Nutrients required to get energy, to derive energy. Food is obtained by different organisms in different ways. See, we get food, means all organisms get food in different ways. Means how we use? Humans use what? Food. We use plants, and then we cook, and then in this way we get food. Other animals directly eat the plants. So there are different processes for different organisms to obtain the food. Depending on the processes involved in obtaining and utilizing food, different organisms follow different types of nutrition. Means it depends on the processes, how we take the food, how we utilize the food. So with the variation in these, different organisms follow different types of nutrition. Means nutrition process also different for the different organisms. So let us study these in detail. So first, before that, we need to understand what is a nutrient, because we are talking about what? Nutrient, nutritions and all. So what is actually a nutrient? Nutrient are the essentials for the normal functioning of the human body. Means nutrients are very essential for functioning, means for working of the human body. Nutrients are very important. As we have already discussed, what are the nutrients? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and water. These all are what? Nutrients, and all this we require to functioning our body. So here we will see definition of nutrition. The process of taking in nutrients means food and then utilizing them to perform various life processes is known as nutrition. Means nutrition is the process of taking the nutrients in form of food and then these nutrients utilized by body to perform various life processes such as what? Excretion, reproduction and many more life processes. So this process of taking the nutrients and utilizing by body to perform life processes, and this process known as nutrition. Okay, here we will discuss modes of nutrition. Means different methods of nutrition. Two types of nutrition is there. There are two main modes of nutrition based on the nature of raw materials that organisms take from their environment. As we know, we take the plant from the environment. The plant is what? Raw material, and then we cook and then we use. So the different organisms use these raw materials in different ways. Okay, so there are two types of nutrition process. One is autotrophic, second is heterotrophic. So in autotrophic process, which type of components are there? Simple inorganic components, and that is also comes in food. In the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, complex organic type components are there. Okay, inorganic compounds means those components in which mostly carbon is not there, and organic components in which carbon compounds mostly are there. Okay, but here in mostly inorganic components, carbon hydrogen compound is there, and here carbon could be there, but carbon hydrogen bond will not be there in the inorganic component. So you just simply understand, you just simply remember that for the autotrophic mode of nutrition, simple inorganic components will be there, and for heterotrophic mode of nutrition, complex organic components will be there. We will discuss in detail, so you will get it more clearly. Okay, so remember how many types of nutrition? Two types of nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic. So here we will discuss autotrophic mode of nutrition. Green plants show autotrophic mode of nutrition. We all know very well green plants are autotrophs. So that's why green plants show which type of mode of nutrition? Autotrophic mode of nutrition. They take simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water from the environment. We know that if we talk about plants, so plants take carbon dioxide and water from the environment, and these are what? Inorganic substances. So autotrophs are in green plants what? They take carbon dioxide and water from the environment and then use them to prepare their own food. Now see, we can take the food from the plants, but plants are not taking the food from any other sources. What they are doing? They are preparing their own food. So how they prepare? They are using carbon dioxide and water from the environment, and then they prepare their own food in their body itself, and then this process continues. Such living organisms which are capable of preparing their own food are known as autotrophs. So here we will understand that what? So this type of living organisms which are capable of preparing their own food are known as autotrophs. Here by the word autotrophs also it can clear. Auto means by themselves, trophs to prepare. So autotrophs, those organisms which prepare their own food by themselves, are known as autotrophs. Means they are not depending on any other organisms for food. They depend on themselves to prepare their food. So autotrophic mode of nutrition means what? The organisms which prepare their own food by themselves by taking the inorganic substances from the atmosphere. Here, difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. Here one picture is here which is clearly showing the difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. See, these are what? Plants. Plants using sunlight and other carbon dioxide and water from the environment and doing a process of photosynthesis, and that's why what they are doing by themselves and storing the food in their own body. So that's why autotrophs, they make their own food. So that is why these are what? Autotrophs. They are doing by their own. But here heterotrophs are what? See, this what is using this, it is depend on the autotrophs, means taking the leaves from the this goat is what? Taking this sheep is taking the leaves from the plant. So this sheep is depending on the plants. A sheep cannot prepare their own food. So that's why heterotrophs what? They consume food made by autotrophs. Means the food made by autotrophs, these animals consume. So these animals are what? Heterotrophs. Means heterotrophs means hetero means they depend on others for their food. So this is a clear difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. Now here we will discuss heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So most animals show heterotrophic mode of nutrition. As I have said, what? Mostly animals are what show? Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Animals show. They take complex organic food from plants or other animals and then break it down in the body to assimilate and use it. Means animals mostly use complex organic food. They usually they take plants, they eat plants or other animals, and this food they break it down in their body to absorb and to use it to get the energy in their body. Such organisms which cannot prepare their own food and are dependent on other organisms for their food requirements are known as heterotrophs. Means those animals, those organisms which cannot prepare their own food and depend on other organisms for the food requirements. So these type of organisms are called as and known as heterotrophs. So simply remember plants and animals. Plant preparing own food, not depending on others. So plants are autotrophs, and animals cannot prepare their own food and depends on other organisms and plants. So that's why animals are known as heterotrophs. Here one more picture clearly showing heterotrophs, and heterotrophs are more known as consumers. Means consuming from the others. Means they are not preparing their own, they are not producing their own food, they are what? Consuming from the others. An organism that obtain energy by consuming other organism. Means an organism which get the energy by consuming other organisms. So these animals are eating other animals and get the energy. So this is what showing heterotrophs, and they are consumers. So they are consuming this organism consume that one, and then that organism consume that one. So these are what? Heterotrophs. And if we see autotrophs are known as producers. Why? Because they are producing their own body by themselves. They are not getting from other side. So they are producers. Autotrophs called producers and heterotrophs called consumers. Okay, because heterotrophs getting the energy, getting the food from others, that's why they are consuming the food from others, that's why it is called consumers. And autotrophs are not taking from others, they are preparing their own food, so they are called producers. Autotrophs are producers and heterotrophs are consumers. So here more detail it is given. Autotrophs, as what we have discussed, autotrophs means green plants produce food and that is used by other living organisms. As we know very well, plants are used by other living organisms who are incapable of preparing their own food. Means those other organisms which are not able to prepare their own food are called autotrophs. Autotrophs therefore also called producers. What right now I have discussed, I have said what? Autotrophs therefore also called producers, because autotrophs are what? Producing the food. So here that is what only showing autotrophs producing food, that's why it is called producers. So now next process, photosynthesis, making food. In plants, we are discussing here about the plants. Plants are what? Autotrophs. So how they prepare then food? Autotroph means what? The organism which can prepare their own food, like green plants. So green plants prepare their own food, and this process is called photosynthesis. The process of making food in plants called photosynthesis. So that's why we will discuss in detail photosynthesis process means what? Making food process. So the chemical process through which green plants containing chlorophyll combine carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight to prepare food in the form of glucose is called photosynthesis. Meaning to say, means the chemical process, means in the photosynthesis which type of process? Chemical process. Why? Because here chemical compounds will be there like carbon dioxide and water. So the chemical process in which green plant, and in the green plants what is there? Containing chlorophyll. In green plant there is a green pigment, what is called? That is called chlorophyll. Here CHLOROPHY will be there. Okay, so don't get confused with the spelling printing mistake is there. So in the green plants what? Containing chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll when combined with carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, so this process to being done, and in this way they prepare food in the form of glucose. When the food is prepared, so that food is what called? It is called as glucose, and that whole process of preparing the food means the combine of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, then whatever the result has come in the form of glucose, so this whole process is called photosynthesis. Okay, photo means in the presence of sunlight, synthesis means making, using. So in the process of making food in the presence of sunlight is called photosynthesis. So plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. As we know very well, plants what take in? Carbon dioxide and what release? Oxygen. And if we talk about humans, what is the for humans? For humans it is opposite. Means humans take in oxygen and what release? Carbon dioxide. We humans take oxygen in and release carbon dioxide out. So here we are talking about plants. So plants take carbon dioxide in and release oxygen out through pores on their leaves called stomata. As we do this process through our nose, means taking oxygen in and leaving carbon dioxide out. But in plants body, what is that organ, what is that part in their body which does this process? So in the plant's body, on the leaf there are small pores on their leaves. Small pores means very tiny small holes, very tiny holes present on their leaves, and these tiny holes what called stomata. Okay, and if we talk, in one small cell called stoma, singular form of stomata is stoma. So and see the picture, this is a leaf, and on the leaf there are small holes which we can't see in this form, we can't see, but there is present small tiny holes which are what called small pores, and in this small pore there are the cells which is what? Stomata. And in this stomata there are cells inside is present, and this part is called guard cells, and this is what? A singular cell, stoma, and this is many cells are present which is stomata. So this is what? Stomata present on the leaves in the small pores. So the process of taking carbon dioxide in and releasing oxygen out through stomata. They take in water and minerals with the help of their roots. See, now water and minerals from where they take in? From the roots of the plant, means from the soil they take water and minerals through the roots, and then the roots passes all the water and minerals through to the all other parts of the plant. These carbon dioxide and water when combined combine when energy from the sunlight, means the carbon dioxide and water when combined with the sunlight trapped by chlorophyll, means the chlorophyll which is present in the leaves, it catch the sunlight. Chlorophyll is what is the working of chlorophyll here? The chlorophyll trapped by chlorophyll, means the sunlight catch by chlorophyll, and when in the presence of sunlight, when carbon dioxide and water combine, so what is in this process glucose and oxygen formed, means when carbon dioxide and water combines together in the presence of sunlight, so what is formed after that? Glucose and oxygen are formed. We will discuss in detail how glucose and oxygen form when water and carbon dioxide combine. So this is the basic concept, main process of photosynthesis. So we will discuss, we will understand the process of photosynthesis with the reaction. So here chemical reaction is given, the reaction of photosynthesis. See what we have right now, we have discussed what? Carbon dioxide and water combine together to give the oxygen and glucose. So here what is carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is what? 6, here how many molecules of carbon? 6 carbon and 6 CO2. Oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen? 6 to the 12. Here this 6 and this 2 will get multiplied. Okay, here nothing is there. Subscript of carbon, nothing is there. So 6 carbon atom and 6 and 2 of 12. 12 oxygen atom. And water. What is the formula of water? 6H2O. So H2O. And then 6 atoms of H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll in leaves. So it gives glucose and oxygen. Means here I am explaining with the molecules, with the number of molecules, so that it will be easy for you to understand how C6H12O6 come. So here please focus here. 6 carbon atom and 6 oxygen, and here 2, means this 6 is common for carbon and oxygen both. So 6 carbon atom and 6 oxygen atom, but here 2 is there in the subscript, mean 6 to the 12. 6 carbon and oxygen 12. And here 6 H2 means 6 to the 12. So H hydrogen, how many atoms of hydrogen? 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen. So when this gets combined, so how many carbon now? 6 carbon here. Okay. Oxygen how many? 12 here and 6 oxygen here. So 12 plus 6, 18 oxygen atoms and hydrogen 12. So what is the forming here? C6. See, in the before reaction how many carbons is there? 6 only. So here after reaction also 6. Then hydrogen 12 here. So here also H12. And then oxygen here O6 have taken. So C6H12O6 makes and forms glucose. What is this glucose formula? Like water formula is H2O, means H2 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So glucose is what? C6H12O6 plus 6O2. See, 6 atoms of 6 molecules of oxygen has gone. So here how many more oxygen is left? 6O2 means 6 to the 12, 12 oxygens more left. That's why 6O2 is left. And if we compare this reaction, so balance this reaction, number of atoms or number of molecules will be same. See, C carbonic 6 atoms of carbon, 6 atoms of carbon. Hydrogen is 12, hydrogen is 12, 6 to the 12. 6 oxygen, 6 atoms of oxygen here and 12 atoms of oxygen, 18. So 6, this 6 is common for hydrogen and oxygen. So 6 oxygen here and 12 oxygen here. And so this is how the balance between this before reaction and after reaction. So this is, I am just trying to make you understand that this is the chemical reaction in which the number of atoms or molecules, we can say atoms or molecules, means number of atoms of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen will be same only when different number of carbon and hydrogen oxygen combined make different substance. So when carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6, get combined together, what it formed? It is formed glucose. And at the last 12 atoms of oxygen is only left. So that is why it is only what? Oxygen. So please remember, 6 CO2 is carbon dioxide, 6 H2O is water. When these two get combined together, it forms glucose, and the glucose is C6H12O6. But always remember, in the presence of sunlight only it can be formed. If sunlight will not be there, then photosynthesis process cannot be possible, and 6O2 oxygen is left. So this is what the chemical reaction of the photosynthesis process, and this is very important process, very important chemical reaction. It can be asked also in the exam, write the chemical equation of photosynthesis. So you must be knowing how many atoms, molecules of carbon, oxygen and all has taken, and why this result has come, how this C6H12O6 has formed. So I have explained you. I hope it is clear to you. So this is what the chemical equation or reaction of photosynthesis. And here more we can see, water and minerals will transfer through the roots, through the soil. The roots will absorb water and minerals and will pass through all the other parts of the plants. Okay, and the sun will give energy. In the presence of sunlight, photosynthesis will happen, and the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, this through the stomata pores, these leaves will absorb carbon dioxide through the pores, and oxygen also, and carbon dioxide and other water will enter like through these. And when the carbon dioxide and water will combine together, what will form? Glucose will form in the plant's body, and at the last what will be left? Oxygen will be left, which is released out through the stomata pores, through the from the plants to the atmosphere. Means carbon dioxide from atmosphere entering into the plant, and then water combining and forming glucose, and then after that oxygen is transferring out from the plants, from the leaves to the atmosphere. So carbon dioxide and oxygen is done, this transfer is done through the small pores, that is what called stomata. Now we will discuss requirements for photosynthesis, as we have already discussed, but in detail we will discuss here what are the main requirements for photosynthesis. So photosynthesis requires certain conditions for the progress of the reaction. Means for the photosynthesis to be done, some certain conditions are required, and these are discussed below. First is chlorophyll. As I have told you, chlorophyll is, what is chlorophyll? Green color of leaves is due to the presence of their green color pigment. Why green? Why leaves are green colored? Why? Because in the leaves one pigment, one substance is present, green colored substance, that is what makes the make the color of leaves always green. So special cells called chloroplasts. Now in this chlorophyll, one special cell which is called chloroplasts, and these chloroplasts contain chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the leaves, but in which cell the chlorophyll is present? In the in the special cell which is called chloroplast. In chloroplast, chlorophyll is present in the leaves. These are the sites for photosynthetic reactions. Means in the chloroplasts, in this area photosynthesis reaction is being done. Molecules of chlorophyll capture energy from the sunlight. Sunlight is what? Is also form of energy. So molecules of chlorophyll capture energy from the sunlight during photosynthesis process. So first main important requirement of photosynthesis is what? Chlorophyll, which is green colored pigment. And chlorophyll is present in which cell? In chloroplast cell. Please remember, don't get confused. In exams also this type of objectives, one word, and it can come in which cell chlorophyll is present. So that which special cell? Chloroplast cell, and green color pigment is called chlorophyll. Okay. So, and if we see, this is more one good example, a good picture of stomata open and stomata closed. This is a stomata, small pores which is present on the leaf. This is a cell when stomata is open, this is how it looks, and when stomata is closed. So let's study this in detail. So see, the outer wall of this cell is called cell wall, and then this part is called vacuole, and the inner middle part is called stoma. And that cell which is present in the stomata is called chloroplast, and in this what is present? Chlorophyll is present, and this is what? Nucleus. And this cells is present at the outer part which guard the that whole stomata, and these cells are called guard cells, and they are swollen and that's why they are guard cells. And this is how it looks when stomata open, and when these two cells, when this guarded two walls, when shrink and come close, these two parts, so this is what? The stomata is closed. So when stomata is open, then only the photosynthesis process will be done. So leaves of certain plants have other color pigment due to which they do not look green. Some leaves of plants do not look green. Why? Because they may have other color pigment, and because of that color pigment, the leaves of plants may be of other color. However, they do have chlorophyll and thus perform photosynthesis. And those plants have chlorophyll, they perform what? Photosynthesis process. In some plants like cactus, the leaves are reduced to spine. We have seen cactus plant. This is what? Cactus plant. In this what? Leaves are reduced, and in the form of spines, the small leaves which are in the form of spines present on the cactus plant. Stems are green in color, and you can see these stems are what? Also green in color, and perform photosynthesis. And in cactus plants also, which type of process perform? Photosynthesis. Second requirement for photosynthesis is what? Carbon dioxide. Very important. So plants take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through the stomata. As I have told, plants take carbon dioxide in and release oxygen out, and in and out this process is being done by stomata, and these are what? Small pores, and that is what? Stomata. Guard cells through that surround stomata regulate their opening and closing. Guard cell function is what here? To do opening and closing of stomata. When guard cells get filled with water, they become swollen. Turgid means swollen. When guard cells what? Filled by water, so they become swollen, and the stomata opens, and the stomata get open. Means these guard cells, when absorbed by water, so stomata what? It gets opens, and the photosynthesis process starts. They become swollen and the stomata opens, allowing carbon dioxide to enter the leaf, and it allows carbon dioxide to get enter into the leaf. When the guard cells are flaccid, that is soft and limp without water, the stomata closes. Means when the guard cells become soft, means they are not swollen, and they are limp, means they are the guard cells are stand without water, the stomata shrinks and stomata get closed. Okay, so when it absorbs water, the stomata get open, and when the when the water is not present in the guard cells, so the guard cells get shrunk and in the stomata close. And when the water will be filled in the guard cells, it will be swollen, and when it will swollen, there will be space, so it will stomata will be open. And when there will be no space, means when the guard cells are shrunk, so they will, when it will shrunk, they will close together, and in this case stomata is closed. Okay, this is one more that only picture of the stoma singular cell, and this is what? Guard cells. Third important, very important requirement for photosynthesis is sunlight. Sunlight is essential for photosynthesis as it provides energy required for the reaction. Means for the photosynthesis reaction, the most important energy which we are get from sunlight, and it provides energy for the reaction. The rate of photosynthesis is also affected by the amount of sunlight. Means the rate of photosynthesis, means the speed of photosynthesis affect by the amount of sunlight. If sunlight is very low amount is there, then photosynthesis will process might be low, and when the and if good amount of sunlight is there, so photosynthesis process may be in a good progress. Fourth requirement for photosynthesis is which one? Water. Plant roots absorb water along with minerals from the soil. How the plant get water? Through the soil. And as we know, minerals also present in the soil. So through the roots, plants and minerals absorb through the roots, and it transfers to the other part, and it transport them to the leaves. Means the plant water and minerals from the roots transport to the leaves. They have tube-like structures called vessels. In our body, as we know, in our body the blood passes through the veins. So in the plant's body, small tube-like structure which are called vessels, and in these vessels the water and minerals passes, which form a continuous path for the transportation of water and nutrient. And this is this vessels makes a path for the transfer or for the transportation of the water and the nutrients. With all the components and required condition in place, the process of photosynthesis takes place. Means with all these components and the requirement and required conditions, if it is there, then only the process of photosynthesis takes place. And when it happens at the last, in the result, what it produce? It produce glucose and release oxygen. The glucose is what? The plant's food. Glucose is plant's food. So food is transported to the different parts of the plant through stems. Means once the photosynthesis process done, once the food has prepared, then this food is transferred to the different parts of the plant through stem. The stems is the center part. The stems transfer to the other body parts of the plant. The glucose is converted into starch and is stored in leaves. And the glucose is what? Converted into starch, and it is stored in the leaves, roots, stems, etc. And as we can see through this, showing what? Photosynthesis process. That oxygen what? Releases at the last. But first photosynthesis produce what? Glucose. Glucose convert into starch, and starch is stored in different parts of the leaf and releases oxygen out. Now as we know, the plants take the food by themselves, but sometimes plants take food from other side also. Synthesis of food other than carbohydrates by plant means the nutrients like what? Carbon dioxide, water, and all the food is preparing by using carbohydrates. But other than carbohydrates also plants use food. See, the starch produced during photosynthesis is a carbohydrate made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Starch is what? The starch which is produced in photosynthesis process is what? Carbohydrate. Why? Because carbohydrate is what called the food which is made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So this is that's why the starch is called carbohydrate. Plants also need nutrients like proteins and fats to grow and function properly. See, every organism need all 5 nutrients for the growth and functioning of the body properly. So plants are getting carbohydrates, but plants not getting other proteins and fats through the photosynthesis process. So how plants get the proteins and fats to grow and function properly? We will understand that. So they take in nitrogen to synthesis protein. To get the proteins to get nitrogen, because nitrogen is important for plant. So to get nitrogen and to synthesize proteins, how the plants get proteins? Through the nitrogen. Though it is abundant, nitrogen in air cannot be absorbed. Nitrogen is present in air in abundantly, but directly plant cannot take the nitrogen from the atmosphere directly. So how do plants get nitrogen to make nutrients? So to make other nutrients. Which nutrients? Proteins and fats. So for that, nitrogen is important for the plant. So how plants will take the nitrogen without because directly plants cannot take from the atmosphere. So without that, how plants will take the nitrogen? So there is a bacteria which is called rhizobium bacteria. It is present in soil and are capable of fixing nitrogen. Means a bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, is present in the soil and it is capable to absorb nitrogen from atmosphere, that is taking atmospheric nitrogen and convert it to soluble forms to be absorbed by the plant. And when this bacteria enters in the plant, so it helps to give the nitrogen to the plant. Which bacteria? Rhizobium bacteria gives nitrogen to the plants in a soluble form. Nitrogen can be added through fertilizers which is then readily absorbed by the plant. As we know, for the plant growth we used to put what? Fertilizers, so that the plant can have good growth and can prevent from the other insects and all. So nitrogen is present in the fertilizers. So through fertilizers also we can give in a ready form nitrogen to the plants. So that is what the plants can get the other nutrients also through the other bacteria, like what? Rhizobium bacteria. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you, children.